Hello, people. I may be live, but no one is on. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Nobody knows my sorrow. Nobody knows the trouble I've seen. Monkey, how's it going? Getting it populated. Just 3 more Mouta calls away. Monkey, how's it going? Getting it populated. Just 3 more Mouta calls away. Dreadful accent, I know. Just 3 away here. I'm just getting myself sorted. Element, good to see you, bud. Pork chops, huddly doodly. There you go, Element. As we're getting there, still need 3 more drivers. We're getting closer. Today we're in Monza, as you can see by that picture, and the one-shot qualifying set up here for the Italian Grand Prix, which is race week 3 of Tier 2 racing at the MidWest F1 League. I'm, again, solo hosting Tier 2 for all you lovely people here today, as we're looking forward to some fun racing. We're just waiting for this lobby to get populated here. How many we got here? Let's go, we got both AlphaTauris, Spaceman, and ZGS, McLarens. We got one McLaren. We're missing JLS Cavney, who's coming in for his first race of the year in the McLaren. We got both Red Bulls there. We got 1 Ferrari and Monkey Mafia and 2 Ferrari in the reserve of Astonic coming in for Hochi tonight. We got 1 Mercedes, missing the Mercedes of Jonesy. Unfortunately, waiting on Jonesy here. We got both Renaults as C. Barry, after his unfortunate crash last night in Tier 1, finds himself reserving today for the Renaults, replacing Sabino Mira. We got 1 racing point. We got 2 racing points. We got 78 Corvette, who is reserving for not EMT tonight in the Williams. And we also have K-Dog, who she will be driving her first race for the Williams. now we're still without 3 drivers. But we seem to be 5 minutes past here. There we go. Jonesy will be getting on. Still waiting on 3 drivers, one being Jonesy. Jonesy is coming. We are missing McLaren, unfortunately. And who did I say before? Shoot. Is it Yolmir? No, we have both racing points. Renaults, we have both Renaults. One Mercedes. Sorry, I'm just trying to help us figure out the lineups here. Oh, the Haas. Who's the other Haas driver? Kaz. Oop. Both Alfa Romeos, yeah. We have Noganator is going to fill in here for the Haas, and there we go. We have our full lineup here as Tim Lee will fill in the final spot as well. For, I believe, the McLaren, yes. Okay, now we're full. Finally. So now we got Tim Lee versus Tim Lee. Or we got Tim versus Tim. I imagine Tim Lee versus Tim Lee. As 78 Corvette is the father of Tim Lee, who does represent the Racing Point in Tier 1. But today he'll be going in the McLaren as we have a couple more reserves. As let me get this down in my notes, as Noganator. Noganator comes in for Kaz. Then we got Tim Lee in for Jazz. As we're going to fire it up and go right into a one-shot qualifying here today at Monza. Drivers will have their time to set up their cars, and then we are right into the one-shot qualifying and then right into the race, which will be a 25% race, followed by a 5-lap reverse result grid. I'm not sure exactly how to word that properly, but I think that's good enough here. You understand what I'm trying to get across. As everything is all settled, we are going in, and we're going to, like I said, drivers are going to get their cars ready, and then we're just going to jump right into it here. So, my early predictions here is we both got Kitlink and Meeb. I got to stick with Meeb. We got Kitlink and Meeb here, who are, and Smokeman, who are the top 3 drivers in this grid, I'd say. We got a couple of other really fast guys. We got C. Barry in today, and he can really hold his pace as well. Monkey Mafia had a pretty strong showing yesterday, but he's in a little bit tough today. Stat, your boy, my boy, everyone's boy, he can do pretty good too. So we'll see where he can wind up here, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a cut and dry 1, 2, 3 with Smokemon, Kitlink, and me. But I'd like to see me wrong, as I'm always a man for the dramatics. So let's hope that we can see some here. As we are loading into our lobby, as well as for those lady viewers out there, K-Dog is our first and, as for right now, only female representative in the Midwest F1 League, and we are very extremely happy to have her, as we hope to see more females into our league, as it is good to see women enjoying the sport. As we seem to be having a wet qualifying, so that'll be fun. That's going to throw a wrench into people's plans. So this is gonna lead to some excitement. As we're right into it here, we'll stay on with K-Dog. She finds herself moving slowly down the pack here, as now everyone's off, coming into the first turn. She seems to take it fairly clean, as yes, it is in the full wet, so that just shows you how hard it's coming down here. As we see Stat currently up in the top spot right now, as he is off pretty well. The best pawns, unfortunately, must have crashed out, as he'll find himself going down into 20th position. As the Smoke Man, as these guys are really pushing it. So one of my predictions is already not going to happen, but my other two are looking pretty good. As we see K-Dog here coming through that middle section there in Sector 2. We'll just get right on board with her. She comes through turn 7. Going down that long straight under that overpass, which is that very large banked oval, which I really suggest you taking a look at that, because that is actually something really cool, just to go onto Google Maps or Google Earth and just to really see the incline of that banking. But it seems right now we got Kit Link and Meeb in 1-2, Stat in 3 as Meeb and Kit flip-flop there. K-Dog right now currently down in 13th and flopping around with Milga there. Unless someone loses it here off the end, Meeb seems to be coming in first, and that's about it. As Tim Lee's going to come over the line. Freeman unfortunately disqualified, as Corvette did as well. Monkey Mafia still yet to cross the line, as he must be going through some troubles here. Let's see if we can switch over to him, as he is now coming over the line. I'm assuming he doesn't have a front wing here. No, front wing seems to be intact. That will be our qualifying session for the day. As Meeb and Kit Link are up at the top as my prediction, Stat finds himself third, which I somewhat predicted. Oh, with his countryman, El Magico. Going in fourth, Asenik and Yolmir in fifth and sixth, see Barry, Air, K-Dog finds herself in ninth, ZGS in 10th, Jonesy and Noganator and OG Northerner, 11th, 13th, 14th, Spaceman and Tim Lee, and the last to properly finish a lap was Monkey Mafia, being very much far behind, and the last four in Freeman, Corvette, Smokemon, and oh shoot, who was that? Ah, Christ, I can't remember. After the race. Cam, are you able to track back and see if you can get a picture of the qualifying grid here? Or I guess no, I can just... Don't worry, Seth, I can get it off the top here. As we are about 15 seconds away from starting this 25% race here, as it does seem that it has dried up for the drivers here, as wet qualifying kind of threw a wrench into everything. Porkchop's coming in hot with the picture here. Lovely stuff from him. As there we go, we got 5 red lights, and away we go as Meave gets a really good start, as does Stat. Kitlink unfortunately falls back a bit. Have a little bit of jumbling up and down the bottom of the grid. Everyone's got a break early into this first turn here, and everyone looks to be fairly clean. Jump down the grid here. Let's get right on them with the Ferrari. As, yeah, we seem to have lost some drivers early there. As we have an early safety car. As Noganator, K-Dog, and Tim Lee unfortunately have gone off. Jonesy receiving a 5-second penalty. Corvette in 16th. A couple positions have moved around. Smokebound seemed to have gotten a really good start and finds himself all the way up into 8th. Noganator and K-Dog are tangoing a little bit here. As K-Dog picks up a 5-second penalty. But we did have this, it may be a glitch right now, is unfortunately Noganator in last night's race had this problem where him and Porkchops both were receiving penalties for not letting each other go. As the game was telling, as we see a couple into the pit, sorry here, El Magico and OG Northerner, assuming for a quick little wing change. Monkey Mafia receives a 5-second penalty, but they were receiving penalties for not letting each other go, but in the end, both were told to let each other through. Noganator seems to still have his pit. K-Dog picks up a 5-second for speeding. I'm going to have to put down another 5-second for ignoring the flags there as well. So let's jump into the race director here and just make sure that that's all that is so far. Jonesy, K-Dog, Monkey Mafia, and K-Dog. Yes, there we go. Got it all. But this is such a hard first turn, as you got quite the run up there, and then it doesn't really give the drivers too much time to separate themselves. And that back of the pack has a real tall order to time that braking zone perfectly in that turn 1 into 2. That chicane. And we're on with Noganator still as he catches up to the pack. Stat did get off really well there. Kitlink unfortunately had a little bit of a lull in his start to this race, as he finds himself dropping down, but Stat now into first. Smokeman up 10 spots from his original qualifying of what was the crash. I believe I wasn't on board with him, but he can only imagine, as he did retire from the session. We're going to go around the track one more time, I believe. K-Dog and Tim Lee are going to need to catch up to the pack here. Oh. Corvette seemed to have gotten into the back of El Magico there. Picks himself up a penalty. Unfortunately, not leaving enough space. He doesn't seem like he'll need to pit. As he goes off and then turns in front of Noga there. He's back on track. But really lost it there. Just coming out of turn 2, just in the yellow flag. So there doesn't seem to be any wing damage to him, so he shouldn't have to pit, but unfortunately, a penalty of 5 seconds that he will have to serve when he pits or at the end of this race. Right now we have a very slow fastest lap and we've yet to truly complete a lap, as Tim Lee still has half a lap to catch up here before the safety car does come in. Let's check the tires, as El Magico did pit as well. Jonesy gets a little piece of Asnick there. Not sure if he does look like he received some damage there. As Stat is backing this grid right up, and away he goes. No, not quite yet. Still trying to throw a little bit of a wrench. Tim is very far back, as he is still correctly moving his way through Sector 2. As Stat didn't look like he was able to separate himself very much between him and Meeb. Meeb gets a little bit of a lockup. Being on mediums here, decided to opt for those to start his race. El Magico and Spaceman, as El Magico is in 12th. As unfortunately Spaceman goes wide and El Magico picks up the position, as does OG Northerner. Spaceman now finding himself down into 15th place. Getting back on board with Meeb here as he tries to hunt down Stat on the medium tire. Stat still on that soft tire. Jonesy did spin off there and finds himself going down the order. Unfortunately cannot bring him back into the race until everyone is passed. Kit Link getting a really good run out of those chicanes, that chicane of turn 8, 9, and 10. May take a look. It's not using the overtake button here. Neither is Meeb. Best Pawns might have found him. Yes, he did. Finds himself off track as well. El Magico takes a position on his teammate of Freeman. Kit Link did end up getting Meeb there in the straight. Sorry, I got dragged away. Meeb thinks about a lunge down, but Kit Link is the later breaker there with the sobs. As Kit Link now has Stat in his radar. As run with Monkey Mafia and K-Dog here, as Monkey does have the inside line. If K-Dog's able to ride it around the outside, she will get, as she is the late breaker, and will take her spot of 14th back. Meeb gets a really good shot out of that chicane of 4 and 5. But falls back slightly here. Yolmir has the run on Asnick here. Seems to have the pace. Asnick gives him room to the outside. Asnick does have the inside, but pulls out. And now loses it, unfortunately. Goes into the wall. All the way back on turn 10. He'll find himself going down the order here. He comes back on to the track safely and will find himself down into 11th now, unfortunately, as DRS is now enabled after this lap. Noganator now in 10th. May be able to take a run at Freeman here. He's using up quite a bit of his overtake as well as Freeman, so it doesn't look like Noganator will have the run on him. Being a half second back, Freeman looks to take that corner very late and ends up missing his brake point. Now Noganator is right on the tail with the better traction coming out of that. Opting for the inside, as Freeman has the outside, which will go to the inside for the chicane. Ends up having the pace. And Freeman goes right up over the curbs and keeps his position. Now Asnick goes in the inside of Noganator. Noganator now going to the outside. Asnick takes another look. He will have DRS, as will Noganator here. Will he have a long enough run up here? It doesn't look like he will. Asnick has fallen back a little bit. Noganator right back on Freeman here as he seems to get the lunge. He's really running out of overtake here. getting extremely low on battery power as Kit Link picks up fastest lap. Noganator will have the outside. Thinks about a switchback, opts out, but he will have DRS in this long straight here. Air goes out wide, and OG Northern will get back on with Noganator. Now without battery, he won't truly be able to take a lunge as the battery power of Freeman will be able to hold Noganator off. Both of them go wheel to wheel, it seemed there. Noganator went off on the side of the road. Now that gap will grow as now K-Dog picks up another 5-second penalty, as does Jonesy will pick up a 3-second for himself. Kit Link now getting right on the back of Stat. Noganator picks up himself a penalty. Ooh, as Stat goes to defend the inside there, and Kit Link gets a little bit of a lockup. He will have the pace on Stat, but I don't think he'll... I couldn't imagine him taking a lunge here. ZGS picks up a penalty for himself. As does Freeman. Will Stat go to the pits? No, he stays out. DRS is now open. Stat goes to defend the inside. Doesn't look... Stat squeezes Kit Link out a little bit there. Meeb decides to pit now for some softs, as does Freeman, I'm assuming to be going on the mediums. Seabury goes into the pits for some mediums. As the battle for first place here is still going strong, as it doesn't seem like Kit Link will be able to get the pace right now. Asenik picking himself up a penalty. Still on board the leaders here. Meeb picks up a quick position back on Monkey, having those fresher tires and having that inside line. Monkey, unfortunately, will not be able to fight back. Here we go. Magico really has the run on ZGS here and will pick himself up into 5th place. Him driving a very quality race so far for him. Corvette now being lapped. Just pulls off to the side there. Kit Link into the pit. Stat opts to stay out here. ZGS did keep that gap quite close as he will get DRS now. Not much battery to work with here, unfortunately. El Magico now with 6-lap old mediums may try and hold these to the rest of the race. Noganator picking up a 5-second penalty for going into the pits too fast. OG seems to be on some older tires and won't be able to keep the pace up with Meeb here. Air right now currently the only man on those hard tires. It's currently the big mover of the day seems to be Monkey Mafia and Smokemon. Smokemon's race is still not over yet here. Spaceman and ZGS and Stat still yet to pit. OG seems to be keeping close to his teammate, but unfortunately does not keep it clean through that section. Smokemon gets very close to Yolmir. Jonesy with another penalty for himself. Will get DRS. Noganator makes the move on Freeman and makes it stick. Me picks up fastest lap of the day, the 120. Up into 2nd place now, with about 8 seconds to make up, 7.5 now to make up on El Magico in 3 laps, as El Magico may find himself with the race win here if he's able to hold this gap off, as he's already pitted, so we won't need to come in to change another tire compound. OG Northerner is also already pitted, so he is clean. OG Northerner picks himself up a penalty. As the Red Bulls are finishing pretty solid here as Kitlink goes off and unfortunately crashes out. As that is the first DNF for the day. Got a little bit of oversteer and found himself into the wall, unfortunately, for the Red Bull of Kitlink. See Barry going right at Yolmir. As the two Renaults are going to try and take over this racing point here, as Barry goes to the outside here with the medium tires. Yolmir does have the inside line. Slightly fresher tires, but the soft it is, so he will be able to hold that rotation a little better around that turn. As he does get DRS, unfortunately Barry won't. The Smokeman now trailing that pack. Jonesy picking up another penalty. Barry should let his teammate and Smokemon go here, as he does have the fresher tires. They are going wheel to wheel here through turn 3. Barry does have the inside line, so Smokeman will back out. Barry may be slowing up his teammate a little bit here through this section of turns, as now Barry... The gap between Barry and Yolmir has now grown to over second. As Monkey Mafia and Yolmir go wheel to wheel, but Yolmir has the later braking and the DRS, so he will collect himself 5th place. As that happened, Barry held off Smokeman for 7th place. There's still some fighting between them going on. Noganator finds himself again with low overtake and DRS on Air. As Air currently with no penalties and Noganator with 8 seconds worth. I'm assuming 5 seconds worth, as he would have served one of those in the pits. And 11th. Meeb did make up a lot of time in El Magico for first place here. El Magico yet to pit. Or sorry, with no penalties. Does have a pit stop under his belt. Meeb has the fresher tires and 2 seconds to make up here in the last lap. As that gap is forever closing. Noganator and Meeb were going to wheel, or Air, sorry. Air gets pushed off the side, and Noganator will collect 10th place now. Yolmir now working on OG Northern, as he will have fresher tires and DRS, and OG Northern unfortunately won't be a match for him. As Yolmir finds himself into 4th place now, OG Northerner in 5th. Will get DRS. He may be able to take a stab back at Yolmir if he keeps it close. Needs to find a little bit more pace here, but unfortunately Yolmir has the much fresher tire and is able to grow that gap quite a bit. OG on minimal overtake here. So it doesn't seem like he'll have what it takes to get back into 4th place. The best Pawns picking up his first of the day. We'll get on to Meeb to see if Meeb is able to make up that time to El Magico. Because now he's going to be within a second here. He will get DRS going into that back straight there in Sector 2. There will be a blue flag of Corvette. Is Meeb going to be able to take a lunge? Not right now. He does have overtake saved up. El Magico slows him up through the chicanes. Still able to get a pretty good lunge out of here. Meeb throwing everything he can into his car to get it to go quicker than that Alfa Romeo. Meeb looking at the outside, brakes later, collects first place. El Magico takes the inside line as we have a drag race for the finish here. It doesn't look like Meeb will have what it takes, and El Magico picking up first place? Yes, you will. As Meave had some uncollected penalties, I guess we can say. Smokeman getting 6. OG Northerner, I believe will... no, he will drop down into 7th place. Barry collecting his 5-second penalties. OG Northerner finishes 7th here. Noganator now a 3-second gap between him and Air. It doesn't seem like Air has any penalties from what I know. Not sure. Noganator crosses the line. Air now just coming over, and yes, he will take over 10th place from Noganator. As Noga will find himself sticking down into 11th. The best pawns in 12th. We'll have the rest of the grid here come over the line as Corvette finds himself into 19th, 13th. No, what am I saying? As this is not done yet, as that was, yes, a great finish. A little bit of a drag race between Magico and Meave there. K-Dog will find herself coming over in 15th. Nope, sorry, 16th. As Asnick will jump ahead of her. Jonesy with quite a few penalties. I think might jump in behind Tim Lee here. As the race timer seems to be over. As we have the finish. Jacko picks up his first win of the year. Putting in a terrific performance there. As it seems to be the trend of the Midwest F1 League, is to get screwed early, throw on some tires that you're just going to last the rest of the race with, and then just have at her. Me finding himself back, continuing his podium streak here, as no, unfortunately he didn't get it on the sprint race, but that is the 3rd race in a row, or circuit in a row, where he will collect a podium. Back in Austria, collecting 2 podiums, and then in France, collecting the race win, but not in the sprint race for the scraps here. As we have our final standings, Magico comes in 1st, Meave in 2nd, Stat collecting another podium for him in 3rd, Yolmir in 4th, strong showing, Smokemon 5th, Monkey Mafia 6th, OG Northern 7th, Steve Barry in the Renault, as you're used to seeing him in the Renault, coming down in 8th, ZGS 9th, Air 10th, Noganator finds himself in 11th, Pest Pawns in 12th, Freeman and Spaceman 13th and 14th respectively. Asnick and K-Dog are 15th and 16th. Jonesy, after several penalties, finds himself in a 17th, Tim Lee in 18th, Corvette 19th, and unfortunately Kit Link crashes out for this race today. But he will have a chance starting on pole, as he is a very fast driver, so it's going to be a lot of work for the rest of the drivers starting way in the back to be able to catch him. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's going to win this scraps race here. As we got to take a couple minutes here for Stat to set up this grid here, as it is a grid that has to be made up, so he's got to go through. Oh, who's leaving? One McLaren, 2 Haas, 1 Mercedes, 2 Mercedes, 1 Williams, 2 Williams, 2 Alfa Romeos, 2 Alfa Tauris, 2 Ferraris, 1 Racing Point. We need Yolmir, and we need Kit Link. We need Kit Link. Come on, Kit. we've got 19 drivers here. This Kit Link unfortunately not with us in this race. But quite the exciting finish that we had there is the little drag race between the Alfa Romeo and the McLaren of El Magico and Meeb. It seems that Meeb unfortunately went a little bit too far wide and just didn't keep it close enough with El Magico, as he really opted for the inside line there, which ended up being the demise of Meeb's podium, or top step of the podium run here, as I believe that he's collected a win in, yeah, he won both feature races so far, so El Magico seems to be the one who dethrones him of his what to be turkey of race wins, but not today. But like I was saying, while I have a second here, really need to look at that Monza oval there, as that is actually something really cool. I'd love to go and see that in real life, as that is I think it's very cool. They don't use it anymore, unfortunately, as it is somewhat of a road now, but that massive bank on both ends are still there, and it's supposedly so banked that you have to like monkey crawl up it, we can say. You have to bear crawl up it. Kind of like, oh god, don't make fun of me. I think it's Daytona. I'm just gonna go on Daytona. Oh my god. Was I seriously? How long was I muted for? Jeez. Smokebot into second place. Oh no. Man, that was like 10 minutes. Oh. The whole freaking race. Yolmir gets second place again, and DRS as he's going to be in second place now. Trying to make up that gap for Asenik. What's a freaking announcer anyway? Bloody hell. Freeman will have a run and the inside line. Jonesy the later breaker. Freeman did not end up shooting that turn. Both stay fairly clean. Smokeman still trying to work on Yolmir there for second place. Oh, I was just talking to a brick wall the whole freaking thing. There we go. Freeman gets Jonesy. Gets a little bit of a lockup for his troubles and gets a lot of the curb there. And now, unfortunately, he goes down into 10th place. We've got a yellow flag for that sector, but that will clear up. A little bit of battling there between OG Northern and Barry as OG goes wide into turn 1, and Barry will take 12th place here. ZGS gets 8th place on Jonesy now as he's sandwiched between the two Mercedes. Muted for the whole race. I'm rightfully pissed. DRS here for Smokemon as he comes down the long stretch of this. Oh, I'm going to see if I can properly pronounce this. Into Variant del Ratificio. Nope. Probably butchered the crap out of that thing, but here we go. Still a battle for second place going on at the last lap. Asenik has been able to hold this lead for the whole race, getting it right into the first turn, it seemed, or into the second turn. After that whole chaos seems to have subsided. Smokeman finding a little bit of the dirt there. Me won't be able to make out that time on El Magico. El Magico also won't be able to make the time on Smokeman as we're really in a battle for second place here. And it may come down to this turn with Smokeman collecting DRS. Yolmir not being able to make up the ground to get DRS on Asenik. Unfortunately, Smokeman completely out of overtake as he's running out of time, and unfortunately won't have the traction here as he's not going to be able to take a lunge. Yolmir going swooping to the inside, back to the outside to defend. Doesn't seem like Smokeman will have it in him to take third place here today. Not much of a sprint for the finish here. Asenik will pick up his first win of the year, and there we go. Smokeman and Yolmir do switch, as Yolmir must have clicked a couple penalties, and El Magico will get a double podium today as he pulls the Meeb of Austria and will get himself first the win, and now third place with a double podium. Freeman, oh, quite unfortunate. Has spun himself out in the last turn. Will drop down the order. Yeah, he'll be fine to collect 11th place here. ST Barry is coming, but K-Dog, she picks up a 10th place for her troubles. C. Barry, like I said, will finish in 12th. OG Northern will get 12th to see Barry. Had some penalties to deal with here. Noganator 14th. Spaceman will get 15th. Monkey Mafia 16th. And everything is done. And I am a knob. Man, I pooch one thing every race. As El Magico, yes, driver of the day for both races, you can say. Collecting a win and will collect himself a secondary podium. Now, where did Smokemon finish in the first race there? As I think we're going to have Meeb be the man to move up. Meeb will get himself 15th place. So we'll run the numbers here. Point structure. 5th place will get him 16 more points, which will bring him to 159. Smokemon gets an added 19 points on top of his drivers 19, so he'll put him at a 130. So he needs 29 points. As we'll take a look at our last bit here, as I'll try and rip through this. Asnick, Smokeman, El Magical, Yolmir, Meeb, Stat, Ayers, ZGS, Jonesy, K-Dog, Freeman, OG, Seaberry, Noganator, Spaceman, Monkey Mafia, The Best Pawns, Tim Lee finishing 18th and 19th, as both Tim Lees end up crashing out of this race. So we need point structure, so he needs 30 points. So if Smokemon finished 30th, you finish first. You finish 5th? First race? Smokemon, if you finish 5th to start, that'll put you at 162. After this is all said and done, what will put you 3 points ahead? Yeah, Smokemon 5th. That gives him 32 points from the first race, and then 19 points in the second race. Right? 19 points in the second race. 32 points. Let me just run the numbers. Plus 32. Yeah, Smokemon, you got him. Confirmed. So I'm gonna see if I can get Smokemon in here. So we'll see if we can get Smokemon here. We may just I think we're just gonna call it here. We're gonna open up a second interview with Smokemon on our YouTube page for his move up to tier 1 here. So I'm just gonna call it for this. I'm really hoping that you enjoyed what we brought today in the MidWest F1 League. As I've been Crash McQueen to be exact, alongside myself, we're going to bring you, actually no, alongside Stat, next week we're going to be back in Italy on September 24th, starting at 6:30 p.m. Pacific, that is 9:30 Eastern. I think, oh geez, me and Sat were just talking about this yesterday. I think it's 11:30 in Australia where he is. Oh, I should know this. We were literally just talking about it. 17 hours ahead for me. So on Saturday morning, or on Friday morning, and then next week for Series 2, we're going to be in USA, so that'll be a fun track. Please tune in for both. Check our Twitter page out, check our YouTube page out, as this league has much to offer. And we really do thank everyone who follows and tunes into our streams and our YouTube videos and into our Twitter pages. It is much appreciated, and we thank you very much. And we are hoping to see you Thursday night back in Italy for the Tier 1 League. And make sure to tune into our YouTube channel, as I'll post it onto our Twitter page, of a exclusive interview with Smokemon for his move into Tier 1. So we will be seeing you soon.